into this video because as of lately, I wanted to give a few new companies a chance. So Queen Virgin Remy, if you guys have not heard of it, first of all, where have you been? Because I remember the commercials playing rent-free in my head, okay? Anyway, 10 out of 10 for the packaging. Y'all know I absolutely love a nice sturdy box. And this is my first time actually seeing like a see-through bag. So, I mean, I don't know what got me so excited about that. I think it's just having the opportunity to peek at what you got to make sure that it's what you ordered. Now, obviously, there is a little QR code. If you guys want to go ahead and just push your phones up to the screen, you can, just so that you can take advantage of some of the discounts and the deals. They did give me a wig brush and also an elastic band. Say that 3 times, okay? Now, the cap is actually adjustable. I absolutely love that it has the preset elastic band that can be tightened. And of course, this is a curly unit, which is deeply highlighted. It was given Beyonce, okay? So I needed to go in and just make sure that the knots were going to be given scalp and not, girl, I can clock you from a mile away, all right? So if you guys need a detailed video on how I get together my mixture, just so that you make sure it's really nice and thick so it's not going to seep through, I do actually have a video for that, so I'll be sure to link it down in my description box and probably also just throw in a little card here on the video. And voila. So after about 35 to 40 minutes, it's gonna get nice and chunky, y'all. It's giving snowflake, okay? But the most beautiful thing of it all, okay, is I am almost guaranteeing you that you will not have to deal with the over bleached knots. Just make sure that you do not press through to that lace when you're applying it, and y'all, you should not go wrong at all. So again, I have videos on more detailed ways to get it done, but so far so good. Now, because this is a newer company, I have actually never worked with them before. At this point, I'm analyzing everything, okay? Every little detail. The lace was super thin. So first things first, I was like, okay, definitely not gonna have any trouble with like bleeding this into the skin. The hair was super soft. And of course, because it was colored, I kind of was like, what is that luster really gonna do? Is the hair really gonna hold up? I'm using pretty high temperature water, so it was definitely gonna break through, and y'all, it passed the test. So the hair was super soft. I'm not really sure exactly what the curls were gonna look like when it's set, but I knew right away that before even having to like pluck this out or do anything, the knots looked beautiful. So if you guys are wondering and questioning, should I do it? Y'all, it's gonna make your units look seamless and just more overall appealing by bleaching those knots each and every time. So you guys get to see, here's what the highlights look like. We have a little bit of dark brown, a medium brown, and then this more like blonde. It's given very much balayage highlight, which is my favorite kind of highlights because they just kind of bleed into each other. Now I'm being very careful. I did go ahead and just take out a few hairs in case I decide to do the baby hair look. And then of course, it also just helps with avoiding taking out too much hair from the front. So whether you like the baby hair or not, part out maybe about a ½ inch of hair across the front and then start to pluck. Just be very mindful not to go in the same spot too many times because you don't want it to be bald. I mean, obviously you just spent your money. The worst thing that you can do is create a hot mess on the front. So yeah, avoid that if you can. Now at this point, I was pretty happy with what it looked like. I didn't have to go too deep into plucking or really customizing this, thankfully. I love the way that everything was kind of like fed into the lace initially. So far so good. Now y'all know I typically like to use a mousse just to smooth everything over, especially when I'm going to be working with curly hair, because it really just sets everything into place, right? Sometimes we'll go in with maybe even like a hot comb to lay everything down, but I find that doing this on the mannequin head kind of creates less work in the future. So once you get it the way you want to, you can kind of spray it down with a little bit of water just to re-wet it a little bit. And then of course go in with that mousse just to set the curls. And I'm one of those people that really likes to create shape. So I decided I was going to go ahead and kind of lightly layer up the front, connect the back layers, and just more of a face frame type of thing going all the way around the perimeter of the hair. And that was pretty much it. I didn't want to go overboard. I just really wanted to set everything in place. absolutely was falling in love, okay, with the blonde highlights. And I'm not usually a girl that likes blonde hair on me, to be completely honest. But this was giving me some inspiration. So I started off with just a wig cap, and then y'all know I took a little half piece of my 𝐒𝐃 tape, which has been a total lifesaver, game changer when it comes to installing wigs. You don't have to think too much. Now, because this is a wear and go unit, it is completely glueless. First of all, look at the color. Stop and stare. Stop playing with me. Look at how thin the lace is. Y'all, I'm starting to think we got some competition. Now, I've been rolling out my favorite hair companies, and just the cap construction already won me on this one. The coloring, beautiful. The luster of the hair, amazing. The knots, y'all, I don't know. All right now. So far so good. Obviously, I'm one of those people that, although the wig can be worn glueless, you guys can just tell how snug of a fit it truly has. There are combs, there are clips. If you don't want to tack this down, you don't have to. I like to kind of do the cheap method, right? So it's glueless, but with a little extra security. So I like to go in with a little bit of Spritz and Shine. This is comparable to Pump It Up, also a Gotta Be Glue spray, or any other strong holding spray that you could imagine. Go ahead and just smooth that on. If you don't really want to have too much of a mess, use like a foundation brush or just some type of brush you don't normally use for your makeup, and just smooth that across. Go ahead and pull the lace directly over it, and boom, you should be good. So I will every now and then go back in with just a little bit of product to really kind of set it in place. But y'all, I promise you, if you really wanted to, you could literally just apply a little bit of foam wrap and throw on that elastic band, take it off, and you have yourself a glueless install. I have done so many videos on showing you how to completely do that, to set it into place, so you definitely have options. Y'all, the company has made me completely confident in the quality. I can't lie. And especially for the price point, I'm always analyzing things like this, because whenever you're getting a unit, obviously you want it to be able to last for years. And the one thing about curly hair, thankfully, because you are not applying a bunch of heat, you aren't usually coloring it any more than what it has already come, you should be able to have this unit for quite some time. And for me with the curly units, if I'm not going to be wearing it in its natural state, typically I'm going to throw on a little bucket hat and really just kind of give the summer vibe. So I wanted this video to be something that could be a go-to once spring and summer comes back around and you're looking for some vacation hair and you're like, I kind of want to switch up my look. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the Renaissance movie, but I was definitely channeling my inner Beyonce with this hair because of the balayage, and it turns out that this color looks really, really nice on me. Usually colors like this, I'm like, oh my god, that would make like any skin tone pop, but for some reason when I see it on myself, I'm like, I kind of don't like it. But I absolutely love the placement of the highlights, some around the temple area. Y'all can see the parting was super easy. It goes super far back, it's deep, and I'm able to very easily make this my own. So I took the hot comb just to kind of flatten it out a little bit, just to really kind of redefine that part. Y'all know I had preset it, and then I'm pretty much just getting all the hair pulled back, and look at that. Easily blend. I did not have to do anything extra to it. If I wanted to keep it in its natural state like this, I could. Obviously, I did go ahead and pre-cut just a few little baby hairs, just because for whatever reason, when I use curlier textures of hair, I just really love the way that that natural soft edge look kind of works out. So it's just a personal preference. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you guys want to leave the hair in its natural state just like this, you can. If you want to reset those curls, you can absolutely do that as well. And I don't think it even requires you to have like a diffuser. This is something that you can let air dry. It seems to dry pretty quickly. And so yeah, look at that lioness. I just love the highlights. Like, this is really, I don't know, it was inspiring to see, because not often do I come across pre-bleached or pre-colored wigs, and I actually like them. So the placement, again, on the colors, 10 out of 10. And the cap construction, I cannot say this enough. A lot of times I will get units, and if they don't fit appropriately, I feel forced to like tack this down with some type of glue or gel, spray, something. This unit did not need it at all. I literally only did it for my own comfort, but y'all know, y'all have seen the tricks with the comb where you slide it up underneath to show just how nice and transparent the lace is. seamless, okay? A seamless blend. The hair flowed, and I'm 5'2", so it seemed to come down to like, I don't want to say the top of my butt. It was kind of like the very edge of my back, right where it kind of hit. I don't know if that's even really descriptive in the way that y'all want to know, but just for reference, if you guys want something even longer, just because his hair is super curly, it's not going to sit as long as like a deep wave may, you know? So it just, things kind of change up when you decide to get curlier hair, because obviously the coils are a little bit tighter. So for me, this was the perfect length though. I couldn't have imagined doing this in like an 18-inch, which is usually what I ask the companies to send me. So this length was perfect. Thank you. Okay, y'all did y'all thing with this. And of course, in my spray bottle, it is nothing but water. I got this from like Target. I think it was like $2 on sale, nothing crazy. Use whatever spray bottle you want. Sometimes I will add in conditioner, but in this case there was no need to do it because the foam wrap really kept everything in place. All that I wanted to do was kind of just re-wet and reset the curls that had previously been disturbed from me doing that middle part. So far so good. Already, y'all know I start getting that little smirk and that little glimmer in my eyes when I'm feeling myself. I'm liking what it's looking like. I had to give y'all the up close just so y'all can see. It looks like this had even been toned out a little bit. Like it was not overly brassy or just anything that would have made me go, it needs a little bit more work. No, y'all, they did their thing. You guys can see it for yourselves. Obviously, this is a closure, so if you guys decide that you want a 13x4 unit, they have a ton of other options on their site as well. But this to me is an easy go-to wake up and go type of hairstyle. You can skip the baby hair if you don't want to. You can style this in a side part. Just because the cap fits so snug and it was adjustable, it got a 10 out of 10 for me. Can't even lie. So yeah, of course, my final thoughts will be listed in the description box. Typically, I like to make sure that units do come pre-customized and all that stuff, but I gotta give this one some slack. Look at it. Beautiful. Very easy to throw on and throw off. Anyway, I love y'all so much. Stay pretty, and of course, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, babies.